We all know more than ever that sleep is crucial for our health and longevity, yet in our fast-paced, stimulus-filled society, rest is often the first thing we sacrifice, and if there is one measure that will improve functions as crucial as my memory, my immune system, or the repair of my DNA, that is sleep. And for this, there are several plants, which when taken as an infusion will be as potent as some medications, and safer than most of them. So I am going to explain to you what infusions are going to help me sleep better, what their risks are, and how to prepare them to consume them safely. Today I share with you a cup of infusion for deep sleep. Sleep is a fundamental part of our health. Every year, more studies come out about the different benefits of sleep for our body, and we know that not getting enough rest at night is associated not only with having a lower mood or frequent distractions the next day, and it is that sleeping little contributes to the least desirable chronic diseases, such as dementia, obesity, and even cancer. The problem is that to achieve those 7 to 9 hours of quality daily sleep that we need for the optimal functioning of our organs, many people end up resorting to drugs like benzodiazepines, which are effective in keeping me in bed with my eyes closed, but will affect the quality of my rest by making me spend more time in superficial or light sleep stages, which has led science to already speak of an alarming 50% increase in my probability of having dementia if I take these drugs for years. So if I have difficulty sleeping or feel that I am not getting quality rest for the hours I'm asleep, undoubtedly, the plants that we are going to see today are going to be the first thing that I will find convenient to try before resorting to any medication, since these natural infusions are not only going to be a safer option for my body, but they will also bring me other long-term benefits. So first we will see the plant infusions that have shown the most effectiveness in increasing our quantity and quality of sleep, and then some precautions and risks that we must know about some of them before incorporating them into our daily lives. First, we have chamomile, a plant known for its calming and sedative properties, which are mainly attributed to one of its active compounds, apigenin, a flavonoid that in our brain binds to GABA receptors, a neurotransmitter known for reducing the activating function of our neurons, making our transition to sleep easier. And it is that the apigenin of chamomile is going to work in helping us thanks to that mechanism to relieve anxiety and improve the quality of sleep. Although we must know that the efficacy of chamomile in our rest is not going to be as strong as other herbs that we are going to see today. Second, we have valerian. This plant owes its potent relaxing effect to valerianic acid, which interacts more intensely than chamomile in the brain with our GABA receptors, promoting our relaxation and transition to sleep. And not only that, this plant also helps us increase slow-wave sleep, the deepest and most restorative phase of our rest. And it is that such is its benefit for our health that valerian was already used in ancient Rome to treat insomnia and anxiety. In fact, you will not be surprised to know that its name comes precisely from the Latin valere, which means to be well. Third, we have linden or lime tree, another plant that has been commonly used to improve sleep and reduce anxiety. This is thanks to its active principles, flavonoids, and tannins that have anxiolytic properties, but also a muscle relaxant and anti-inflammatory effect. So this multiple approach is going to make lime an effective option if what I am looking for is to improve the quality of my sleep while reducing my anxiety levels. Fourth, we have mint. Although it is true that this plant has been used on occasion to improve the quality of sleep, its properties are rather antispasmodic, that is, muscle relaxants, something they owe to their main active principle, menthol. This effect will be useful to relieve physical tensions and thus facilitate a favorable environment for us to have a more restorative sleep, but this will be rather an indirect result of that muscle relaxation. So to speak, mint is often used in combination with other more sedative plants. So mint is going to accommodate and cradle my body, favoring that I more easily reach sleep. But it is not as effective in sleeping me as other plants that we will see. Now, as an addition, mint will give us important benefits at other levels since it has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties that will contribute to the health of our immune system. Fifth, we have lavender. Lavender is known for its characteristic smell. In fact, its name is due to lavare, that is to wash in Latin, since this plant was used in the public baths of ancient Rome for hygienic and aromatherapeutic purposes. And that's not all, but also the active principles of lavender, such as linalool and linalool, interact with several neurotransmitters in our brain, decreasing our neuronal activity, which leads to our relaxation and improvement in the quality of sleep. In addition, lavender has antioxidant properties that contribute to a neuroprotective effect, so its long-term use will be very interesting to prevent the deterioration of my neurons. Sixth, we have lemon balm, a plant that has been gaining recognition as studies have come out in recent years. and it is that its active principles, such as terpenes, have sedative and anxiolytic properties. The terpenes of lemon balm are going to interact with our central nervous system to reduce neuronal activity when we seek relaxation. And the interesting thing is that in addition to its impact on sleep, lemon balm has also shown positive effects on mood. And in more than one clinical trial, it has helped alleviate symptoms of anxiety and depression. So this dual effect on my sleep and my mood is going to make lemon balm a versatile option if what I'm looking for is not only a relaxant, but also a natural approach to improving my mood. Seventh, we have passion flower, which has a series of flavonoids such as vitexin and isovitexin, and they are going to be in charge of giving us the sedative and anxiolytic effects. These flavonoids act very similarly to valerian in the GABA system in our brain, but their effect has been shown to be softer when both plants have been compared. So passion flower could be a very interesting option if the effect of valerian is very strong for us, or if we simply want to start with something softer. Eighth, we have lemon verbena or St. John's wort, a plant that has been traditionally used for its sleep-inducing properties and as a regulator of emotional disorders. In fact, the efficacy of the active principle of St. John's wort, hypericin, for insomnia, is not as supported by science as its mild antidepressant effect. So this improvement in sleep has been shown to be more accentuated in people who suffer from poor rest as a result of having a low mood. And once we have seen how these plants act in our body, we are going to see how to prepare them in an infusion to obtain these benefits. The first thing will be to choose a plant from the list, and as a reference, it is usually used 1 teaspoon of dried leaves for each cup of water. If we have opted for valerian, what we will use is its root, and in case what we have are fresh leaves or flowers, it will be a good idea to crush them a bit beforehand to release their active principles. Second, we heat the water in a teapot or in a saucepan until it begins to boil. And once the water is boiling, we carefully pour it over the leaves and then cover the cup for 5-10 minutes with a lid or a saucer to maintain the heat and allow the beneficial compounds of the leaves to be released into the water. And finally, we use a strainer to separate the leaves from the liquid and pour the infusion, which will already be ready for us to enjoy. Now, what risks and side effects do these plants present? On the one hand, it will be inadvisable to combine these plants with alcohol or other sedatives or antidepressants that may have similar mechanisms of action. On the other hand, mint can be counterproductive if we suffer from reflux, since it helps to relax the lower esophageal sphincter, the barrier that prevents stomach acid from rising into the esophagus. And on the other hand, it can be irritating to the gastric mucosa, especially in people with gastritis, and the rest of the plants, in the recommended doses of 1 to 2 cups a day, are generally well tolerated and do not present risks in healthy people. Now, if I need a boost to sleep in addition to these infusions, before resorting to strong medications like benzodiazepines, it will be a good idea to consider melatonin in the long term, in low doses, which is neither addictive nor generates tolerance or loss of effectiveness over time. And the recommended thing is to start with a dose of 0.5 milligrams and adjust little by little as necessary, without exceeding 5 mg per day, since from that dose we do not have enough studies that confirm its safety. But if I am in a special situation such as pregnancy, breastfeeding, or if I have a disease or take chronic medication with which these plants may interact, it will be convenient for me to consult with my doctor before using any measure for medicinal purposes, as they are the ones who best know my case. And following this, remember that although these plants can be useful in case of difficulty sleeping, insomnia is a problem that will require consultation to reach an appropriate diagnosis and rule out that there is a serious medical condition causing it. And thank you very much for staying with me until now. What do you think of these plants for sleep? Do you use any? I read you here below in the comments. And if it has been useful, I am only going to ask you to share this video on WhatsApp with the people you think it can help, and remember that you can subscribe and ring the bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. Take great care.